Hello. Welcome to session 23, our last session in this series of videos that look at life from a more material world perspective. I'd like now to add some closing thoughts for your consideration. The issues that we've been considering in these video sessions and the ways in which they relate to individual freedoms, individual rights, and the means by which to improve the quality of life for working families are all very serious and important matters that have often greatly divided the people of our country and people around the world. As usual, there are some who are always ready to either create division or take advantage of the opportunity to widen divisions among us, or to use such divisions whenever they occur to once again take advantage of the old adage, divide and conquer, or divide and rule. When our forefathers were thinking about the formation of the American government, they knew of the benefit and the need to have our country's government reflect policies of inclusion on behalf of our fellow countrymen. They put down these words, quote, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." End quote. Those words should be sufficient to erase any doubts that are still around. Are you still willing, knowing what you know now, to continue to allow those who are motivated by greed and a lust for power to stand in the way of these undeniable truths? Are you still willing to allow them to keep us divided as a people for their own selfish purposes? Are you still willing to continue, so many of you, to vote for those same politicians who see it as their calling to keep us divided and to hamstring our government so that it remains in a constant state of deadlock? Remember that we're called the United States of America. I urge those of you who are in doubt about that which you have seen here to pray, and to pray again to be shown the truth of the matters in question. And then be alert for your answer, because it may come in a dream or from any other source. And when it comes, you're very likely to recognize that answer as being the answer to the question that you've asked in prayer. We as a people must each find in the depths of our heart a way to seek greater tolerance and understanding of our fellow man. And through that understanding, learn to love our neighbors as ourselves, even though they may not be quite the same as we are. I remember the story of the elder Native American walking in the wilderness with his grandson. He related to the grandson a story about a man who had within himself two raging wolves, one good and one evil, both fighting for his soul. The boy anxiously asked his grandfather which wolf would win. "The one that he feeds," says the grandfather. Let each of us learn from this story that we should nourish and feed within ourselves that which promotes and stands for love, patience, tolerance for others, humanitarianism, the spirit of the Good Samaritan, brotherhood, a oneness of spirit, and, once again, the most important, love. If things should become seemingly, or in fact, even more hopeless, and you wonder what is to be done, there are two things that I recommend as foremost. Pray, always including the words, "Let your will be done." Then you just might want to continue to read in the Declaration of Independence from the end of the quote shown earlier above in this video. Keep reading from that point. You'll see words that were taken from that document, and perhaps you'll soon see what was suggested there by the very wise founding fathers of this great country. Perhaps it's nearing the time for all of like mind to come together and begin to bring the principles and ideals put forth here into our lives. It's food for thought, don't you think? We have now come to the end of the video sessions that were created to inform us from the perspective of the physical material world, and to help bring us together as a nation and as a people, and I hope bring us to the beginning of positive change for ourselves and for our country. May I now, in closing, ask that you never forget that we are a diverse society. Our country is made up of citizens from many backgrounds, countries, and cultures, and that's one of our greatest strengths. Our families came here from other shores and made their homes here. There are those who were here before us, and others who will come after us. We know that a great many changes are needed to make our country all that it has the potential to become. These changes will someday be complete. And when that is done, I believe that this has been and will continue to be the destiny of this country to welcome and embrace people of many diverse countries, cultures, races, and religions, and to help bring us all together to create what many of us believe is the greatest country in the world, and the greatest country that the world has ever known. We have the ability to reach even greater heights. Let's embrace these principles as a nation and as individuals, and reach out to offer these same principles to a world that is greatly in need of them. We're all grateful to be Americans and proud to be citizens of the world. And even knowing our country's and our world's imperfections, we're all very proud of America, and we're looking forward to bring even more of our country being even more proud of our country and our entire planet. Let each of us live in such a way as to make certain that America and planet Earth live up to their full potential. Let's make America and the world proud of us. I want to thank you for watching this series of video sessions that have tried to help you look at and understand what goes on in our country and around the world, and to do so from a more material world point of view. We have also created, for those who are interested, a series of additional videos designed to take a very different look at ourselves, at our country and our world, so that it looks at things from a more spiritual perspective instead of this more material world point of view. If you're interested in spiritual growth and in finding answers to some of life's age-old questions, you're encouraged to view all of those video sessions under the heading Wisdom for the Ages, Part 1. And the number 4 replaces the word FOR. So it's Wisdom, number 4, the Ages, Part 1, and it goes through Part 32. If you search YouTube for Wisdom, the number 4, the Ages, Part 1, and begin playing that video, the other sessions should then be visible also, all 32 of them. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your interest. Thank you for watching. And thank you, period.